everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning in Greencastle. It's a beautiful morning. I am so pleased to be sharing some wonderful upper class students with you today. We're really excited they're here, and today we're going to be talking about some questions that many of you have, and that's what is social life at DePauw really going to be like? Who are the important people I need to be spending time investing in relationships with? And what are some strategies for success? So I'd like to ask them to introduce themselves. Of course, you know my name is Eliza Frame, and I'm the Director of International Student Services here at DePauw, and I'll ask them to present themselves as well.
My name is Kobe Van Dyke. I'm a rising sophomore. I'm an international student from Ghana.
I'm Zach Jacobs. I am a recent graduate in 2017, currently working as a campus life intern.
And I'm Natalia Coster. I am from Brazil, also a rising sophomore, and I'm majoring in film studies.
Wonderful. And don't forget, you'll be able to submit questions. And again, these are some really active student leaders on our campus. Very, very well liked. Everyone knows them. So I wanted to be sure that you got a chance to meet them before you even get to campus. And you'll be able to connect with Kobe, Natalia, and Zach after today's session as well. So if you want to follow up with them about anything they mentioned today, please take note and you'll be able to contact them after the session. So the first question that is on so many students' minds, not only international students but also American students, is how am I going to fit in? What should I really know about DePauw, and what is it like once you get here trying to fit in and find your place?
So one thing I would want you to know is you were admitted because you're special and you're actually really cool. That's why DePauw wanted you to come so badly, and that's why I recruited you. So you have special qualities that DePauw needs on the campus, and DePauw admits a lot of diverse students of different kinds. Everyone has a different personality. Everyone is different and great. I understand everyone is great, but the best thing you can do is just to look out, to be your original self, just to share your individuality with DePauw and to find your niche, because definitely you will find your niche being the best individual you can be. And with that, I'm sure you would have a direct formula for success. Just get to know people on campus.
Definitely. Kobe brought up a great point, which was kind of find your niche. And one thing that when I got here, I'm in the School of Music, and I was able to find lots of my friends through the School of Music, different instrumentalists, vocalists that I could connect with, but also taking opportunities to extend yourself into other groups and clubs and everything like that. The first week you're here, you'll experience the Student Activities Fair, which I'm help planning over the summer, and you get the opportunity to interact with leaders of various clubs and activities, and you can kind of test the waters in various clubs just to see if you like it or not. And for me, that was a great way to know what was on campus. I was able to find auditions for a musical that was happening on campus, and that was one of the first things I was able to do during my time at DePauw, and I still have great friends from that experience. So that would be one of the things I encourage you to do, is kind of step outside of your comfort zone while also understanding what you enjoy and what you love, and pursue that.
So as I said, I'm from Brazil, and I'm actually from a really, really, really big city. And so coming here, it felt a little bit scary. DePauw has about 2,000 students. It doesn't seem like much. But if you think about it, 2,000 students is actually a lot. 2,000 individuals. So what I think is, when I first came here, I thought it was I thought it was complicated. But then as time went by and I got to know more people and be part of other organizations and kind of opened to something that was different from what it was like at home, I got to know people who are not only inspiring to me, but who really helped me fit in. So what I would say is, when you come here, do not expect to fit in like you fit in at home, because it's going to be different. like being in Greencastle and being at DePauw is different from being at home, but it's just as special, and it definitely helps me grow. So if anything, I'd say come with an open heart and come willing to meet new people and willing to be a part of different spaces, and you will definitely find the right people who will help you feel like you've made the right decision coming here. So.
Thank you, everybody. Um, when you look back on your first year as a first year student, starting with arrival, orientation time, first semester, and then transitioning through, the spring semester of your first year, who are the most important people in your lives throughout that year?
So my mentor group for one was really important. As you may know or you may not already know it, your mentor group is um, a group of students who take your first year seminar with you and are put under one or two mentors to help you transition through your first year in college. Your mentor and the other members of your mentor group are like your first friends. Well, not necessarily as international students, you have boyfriends.
Some of your first friends. There's one group that's very important.
Yeah, it's one group that's really important, and they help you. They help you through your class. They help you outside class. They help you just understand how domestic students think and domestic students view issues, them social issues in general. And I don't know, it was really great. My mentor group was amazing. God bless Harry. My mentor group was amazing. So I got to know people in my mentor group, and I got to know my mentees very well, and it helped me meet other people beyond my mentor group.
So the first year seminar is one way that DePauw makes sure that all first year students have a go-to group of other students so that academically you can have a support network and everyone's learning a lot of the same things together in the same class. And your first year seminar professor is specially trained, and has many years of expertise supporting first year students, and they make sure that you have, extra help with the academic work that you'll need to do to be successful throughout the rest of your coursework at DePauw. And you'll have a small class, sort of seminar style, about 12 other students or so. And you'll have, like Kobe said, a first year mentor who's a student leader who's upper class. And they've also gone through special training to make sure they understand how to support, all first year students as best as possible through that first year. So they're going to be important in the academic adjustments you need to make, and also outside of class, how to adjust and get connected socially. So that's, again, the first year seminar. And we do have, exchange students and language department assistants who are an important part of this incoming group. And you won't have a first year seminar as experienced university students. You'll be, jumping right into other kinds of classes, but you will have, those cohorts of language department assistants and other exchange students. And we'll also make sure that you meet some really cool upper class students during some of your own special orientation activities. So don't worry, exchange and LDA students, you'll have some really amazing upper class student leaders and friends that you'll make right away as well.
Another group that helped in making friends and helping my transition was my international family group. It's a group of international students. It's just like your first year mentor group, but it's just international students from different parts of the world with different experiences and different perspectives in life. And it's interesting to get to know each and everyone individually. And it's different. It's just fun to hang out as a group because your perspectives are different, and you get to learn about theirs and their culture and how they view issues. And it's also a group that helps you transition because you all have the same struggles as an international student. Maybe you have difficulty speaking, you have difficulty understanding your professor in class, or the homework load is just too much. There are a group of students you could always go to and talk about issues with, and just get confident because they also share the same struggles, and they can. Some of them may have picked up some solutions, or may have picked up some ways to pass through the system and be successful. So your first year, your international family group is also an essential group in your transition and in getting to know other people.
Going off the mentor group kind of feeling, your first semester at DePauw, you'll be in a community within a residence hall. I've been an RA at DePauw for 3 years, so I've been able to kind of see these communities building up and then staying with it as part of your DePauw experience for the rest of your experience, for the rest of your 4 years. But my first year, one of the closest friends that I had was my first year RA in Hogate Hall. He really helped make me feel.
I live in Hogate too.
Oh, okay. Anyway, this is not important. But it was a wonderful experience, and being able to have somebody there that I knew I could talk to, if something wasn't going right that day, or if something hadn't been going right for a while, and he had the experience on campus to be able to assist me in that, and point me to the right people within the administration, or just on campus, different resources that I had available to me that I didn't necessarily know that I had available to me. And that experience with him was very formative for me, especially becoming an RA the next year, and really pushing through my 4 years here. So I'd say connect with your RA through your first year, and also just be aware of all the different resources around you. Like, you'll know Eliza, you'll know lots of different people within your own community as well. But always be open to meeting new people.
And I want to make sure that you hear a little more about what the role of the RA really is. And it happens to be that all of these students have or will be serving as RAs. So RA means resident assistant. So can you all just give us an overview of, as RAs, what do you really do? And what should students know about the role of the RA? Because they're actually really, really important, and they're some of the coolest students on campus.
Oh, yeah, we're pretty cool.
I agree.
Okay.
I'm actually
going to be a fresh year mentor.
Oh, that's right. I
that's
forgot.
an RA.
Okay. Cole's going to be a mentor, and Natalia is
I'm
going to be
an
an RA.
Yeah.
Zach is a super RA, has been an RA many times, and even worked in the Campus Living and Community Development Office, has worked in our Office of Campus Life, so you have some experts here.
I think if you talk about an RA, there are two sides to it. At least I can see two sides to it. There's a side that's a little bit more formal, so there's a side that you're probably going to be introduced to as soon as you get here. So if you have any problems with your air conditioner, or if you have any emergencies, or if, I don't know, there's anything wrong that you really need some immediate help, your RA is probably going to be the first person to whom you're going to talk. And so there is a side which is more clear, but then I do believe that there is a second side, which is you're going to be living in a hall. So like Zach was saying, some of the people that I was closest to were actually in my hall, and so in Hogate Hall. And I do believe that we kind of made a family there. And if you think of it as a family, it is as if the RAs were the parents. And so they're the people who are going to be educated.
Older brothers and sisters, maybe.
Yeah, that's kind of odd. Probably older brothers and sisters. But the thing is, they're the ones who are going to be getting, together with, I think, your mentor and your international ambassador, they are probably going to be the people who are going to be educating you and getting you through all the things that are complicated or hard to be understood on campus. And that goes beyond, I think, things that are different, I don't know, new as a college, but things that are emotionally hard for you as well. So they're also an emotional support for you. And I don't know, they will be there for everything that you need. And I think that's what makes the RA team so amazing. They are there for this. I am going to be an RA next year, and that's what I want to do. I want to be there for whatever people need me for.
Why do you want to do that, Josh? Why do you want to be there for people?
Why don't I want to be there for
Right.
people?
Why did you choose that?
Okay, so the first reason that really prompted me to apply was because of my RA. So I was actually not as close to the RA that was in my floor, but especially because I was in a small hall. So if you are in Hogate, or if you are in a smaller hall, that's to whom I'm speaking to mainly. But all the RAs who were in my hall were really important to me, and I had one specifically that was really similar to me. And he would be the person whenever I felt alone, or whenever I need any sort of support that could be I need scissors. Do you have scissors? And then that would become a time to hang out and laugh and feel better about the school and my experience here. And so really, really small things, I think, that really made my experience here better in my first year, and I want to be able to do those little things for the people who are to come to, as almost like a form of gratitude for what people have done for me as well. That's it. You're the one.
No, you really hit the nail on the head. Like that was a really accurate summation of what we do as RAs. We're supposed to be there for you as students whenever you're here, and be that support system for you throughout the year. And I think Natalia really like said that well. So some other things that we do is we are trained to give you that information as best as possible. We're trained to give you resources that you need. Within the what you get 2 weeks of training, which you'll be going through. I won't be for the first time. But you get to know campus in a completely different way by understanding where the offices are on campus, by understanding just how the university operates. Yeah, and it's a different lens that you may not recognize as your first year on campus, but know that your RA and your staff team within your building will know those things and be able to put you in contact with the right people, be able to show you different opportunities that you can take on campus. And just like I said, for me, that was one of the best things that happened to me my first year, was being able to connect so closely with my RA, to the point of being encouraged to apply to be on staff for my first year, and it's been amazing ever since.
To add on, don't be hesitant to ask questions, especially if you're having issues. It's great to ask your RA any question at all, honestly. My RA I got really close to my RA because I had issues. I didn't understand a lot of things, like general things, and he would help me understand issues, social issues that I thought were really weird. Or
For example.
For example, just hanging out in the student space and all of a sudden people walking in and asking if you want to go for lunch, or people just asking you personal questions. I used to be really, really individualistic, and these things were sort of really strange for me. So I would ask my RA if it's okay for them to ask me these really, really personal questions, because it's just really strange. And he actually made me understand how conversations with other students work, and why it was necessary to share more about yourself as an individual. So RAs really help a lot, honestly. Also, it's in the domestic space, it's necessary to leave your room most of the time to hang out in public spaces, like in the lounge, in the kitchen, in the study rooms. It's a way to get to know students on your floor and to meet people. I'd advise that on your first day or in your first week, you at least go from door to door in your hallway to introduce yourself to your floor mates and to get to know them, well, by name and probably their intended major, because it makes things easier and makes things less awkward, because if you get to meet people on your floor and you don't recognize them by face, so it's necessary.
So there are a few other important students and sort of student leaders that we've talked about being very important and that you've mentioned. Could you talk about your experience with global partners, and what do you recommend to students about establishing a relationship with a global partner?
Okay. So I received this email from Eliza 2 months before orientation started about having a global partner, and I was like, wait, who's this person? What is this? I was so confused. I Google searched my global partner, and I couldn't find him. I couldn't find him on Facebook, but I found him on Instagram, and he was on private. I was like, no, I really need to know who this person is. So I sent him an email, and he replied back, and we started a conversation from there. Basically, a global partner is a friend DePauw gives to you. he or she is an upper class man, um, who's a domestic student. So they're there to help you understand American culture and also to help you have a smooth transition. They're one of the important people who help you have a smooth transition in your first year. And they're just friends, honestly. My global partner helped me with a lot of things. Like, I never ordered stuff online when I was back home, and Christian would help me do things like that. He'd help me shop sensibly, not just buy outrageously expensive stuff. He'd he'd help me figure out where to eat out if I wanted to eat out. My birthday was right at the start of the academic year, and I didn't know anyone. But Christian took me out. It was yeah, yeah. They just help you do great stuff. I mean, Fumika's global partner actually picked her up from the airport when she got here. That was great. When I heard the story, like global partners are just friends, and it's very necessary to get out of your comfort zone to get to know them. Sometimes people tend not to know their global partners at all, but they're really excited and they really want to know you as a person. So don't be shy. Send an email or send a Facebook message.
I think
It'll go a long way.
so I think more than just being interested to learning about you as a person, which for sure they are, something that I really liked was that my global partner was really willing to learn about my country and my culture, which is something that when you're not at home, it seems, I don't know, you almost feel the need to talk about it. It's almost as if it brought you back, brought you closer to where you're from. And so being with my global partner, I had the chance to like be able to share all the beautiful things that I see in my culture and that I don't as often get the chance to share. I mean, there are other places where you can do this, but this is one that I really appreciated my first year. And also, so another thing that I think that Colby didn't mention, because I completely agree with every word that he said, is that sometimes it might feel a little bit, I don't know, overwhelming, the amount of work that we have here. And I didn't often, like, I don't know, sometimes I forgot to stop doing work. I would be always in the library. I would be always doing my work.
Yeah.
And then knowing that, I mean, we at least, the Global Partner Program says that you have to at least meet your global partner once a month. And having that need, in a way, of going out and meeting my global partner and doing something that's fun kind of pushed me out of that routine of doing my work and finding different things that were happening on campus that I could also enjoy. And so I really appreciated that. And one last thing is that the Global Partner Program, so you partner with someone, but there are multiple times when you're with your global partner and you're also with everyone else's global partners. And so through the Global Partner Program, I actually got to meet other people besides my global partner that I really, really love and appreciate, and that also helped me get through. So through it, you get to know other upperclassmen that are going to help you fit in on campus, and so I definitely appreciated it.
That's great. You know, I lived abroad and I've traveled abroad so many times, and it makes a huge difference to have someone who already has reached out and wants to be your friend, wants to be a go-to person, so you don't have to feel shy. They actually really want to get to know you, and you just each have one person, so you have, you know, someone easy to, you know, message them and grab coffee, ask a question, like, is this book that I'm about to buy online, you know, way overpriced? What do you think? These are the little things that make a huge difference, and we've all experienced those things, and the people who have asked to be your global partner, they actually applied and they took so much care because they understand and they're really interested in, you know, connecting with you and with other people. So like Natalia said, the group of global partners are some of the smartest, like most involved people on campus. Many of them have traveled or lived abroad. Maybe their parents are from, you know, other countries around the world and they were born in the United States. So these are really cool people. So please do make the most of that opportunity. And when someone reaches out to you and invites you to do something or emails you, it means a lot. They've made a special effort. So, you know, it's best to really, again, get outside your comfort zone and put yourself also out there. You know, they've already extended the invitation to get to know you. That's really special. So those will be announced very soon, and you'll have, you know, an email in your inbox soon. So did we miss any other important people that you really think students should know about?
I think so for sure. When I think we talked a lot about all of this, and I definitely think that a lot of my friends came from these groups and these opportunities. But there's one particular thing that we missed. I think that is the student organizations and the student organizations fair right in the beginning of the year. So when you get here, I'm pretty sure it's during the domestic student orientation, so all the students together. You're gonna go through the student organizations fair, which is essentially an event where all the organizations are on campus, or most of them, have a little table with some people who are in this organization, and you have the chance to go there and talk to them and ask them about what it is, and sign up for their email list if you're interested. And I remember when I went through it, and when and it's actually really funny because you don't know how busy you're gonna be throughout the year, and so I signed up for like 10 different organizations. And then once the year goes by, you sort of understand that you can't really be in 10 different organizations at the same time. But what I'm trying to say with this is that there are so many different little groups with so many different interests on this campus. And they have definitely been some of the most important places where I've found community here. And so I was a part of the dance group here on campus, and I also participated in other programs and things like that. And I think that, if anything, make the most out of it. Go there, look through all the tables, talk to people. If you're shy, just write your name down. I'll be honest with you, I was shy at first. I just kind of wrote my name and waited for them to give me the information. But I found so many people that shared the same interests as mine, and sometimes I think it's hard to see where they are. And so I don't know, like anything, I swear, if you open DePauw's website and look through the list of student organizations, there's so much. I know you're going to find at least one or two groups that share the same as you do. And so definitely do it, be open to it. I know you're going to find people who are passionate about the same things as you are. And I think these are often the strongest connections, because there's something that's beyond you that connects the two of you, or that connects you as a group. So, yeah, just wanted to throw this out there.
Abhishek is throwing you guys some love, by the way. He's in India, but he was saying that you're all sharing some really helpful information. Abhishek is an ambassador, and some of you will have him as your family group leader, your ambassador. He's doing a very cool internship in Hyderabad this summer.
I miss him. So Abhishek, as she said, Abhishek is an ambassador, and your ambassador is like a family group leader. Shout outs to Jacinia. Yeah. Anyways, ambassadors help you with your transition as well. As I said, Jacinia and PTK were my family group ambassadors, and they helped a lot in checking in, because after a while, things get slower and schoolwork takes over, and it's very easy to just get into your shell and be like, oh, I'm just going to work, I'm not going to do anything else. And it's not a helpful way to be successful just doing work. It's essential to take time off to relax. It's essential to do other things outside school. And Jacinia and PTK really helped in keeping me in check, to know how I was doing, because sometimes you just start missing home. You have some culture shock, and you could lose a little motivation. It just gets tired and slow. And these people were really helpful. Jacinia, one time Jacinia took me to an African restaurant in Indy. I was like so happy, like I was beyond elated that yeah, they really do amazing things. They help you. They try to keep you in check if you're going off and doing wrong stuff. They also help you to stay academically focused, especially after midterm grades come out. They're, just like it says, they're a family group, and they're like your big brother and your big sister. And yeah.
I'm sorry to keep cutting you.
No, you're
But,
okay.
No, it's just that I think what impacted me the most about my international, how do you call this? International family group. I thought that was just like a carrying me, like I didn't know if that was official.
It's
But it
official.
definitely is an international family first. And I think what makes it so important and so impactful is that when you first get here, international students, before everyone else does, besides some athletes and whatnot, it's going to be you and you. And I know how scary it feels. And you're just here and you're like, what is all this? I'm lost. I don't know where my buildings are. I don't know anything. And then you meet these people who are essentially going to be your family for your first week here. And what that means is they're going to carry you through all this and they're going to help you relax. And I think when you're so vulnerable, when you're so scared and vulnerable when you first get here, it is so important to have someone who's going to show you that it is not that hard and that it is actually really easy to connect and find people who can make you feel good. And so I was also in Kobe's group with PTK and Jasenia,
Yeah.
and the two of them I'm so grateful to the two of them, even though I might not have seen them as much throughout like the last semester because Jasenia was graduating. She just graduated from DePauw.
Yeah.
Like I know that she knows that my gratitude for her is infinite, and so it is for PTK because I think that's what made me get into my first year with like an open heart and willing to know everything that was there for me. So embrace it. Do not close yourself. Do not feel like I don't know like I said before. Come with an open heart and you will find beautiful people who really want to help you.
One thing I want to remind you about too is that, you know, we're talking about a lot of struggles and challenges and things that people help you overcome, but you are, walking into a community of such successful, strong, beautiful people. Everyone who overcomes challenges in their lives, learns something so important, and you have so much to offer. So I want to always remind students that, you've chosen to take on a really amazing opportunity to learn and to grow. And, the American students around you haven't necessarily done that yet. So you should be proud. And I want to commend you for doing something brave and very interesting. And international students also tend to do some of the best academic work on campus. And that's something that we take a lot of pride in. So, I know we're talking about challenges, but there's so much that international students do for their friends here that they teach the American students that they bring to the table. So like each of these students and American students as well, like, everyone is engaging in these mutual friendships and relationships. So, just like maybe Natalia and Kobe are describing that they got a lot of help, they were also helping other people in their family groups. They were showing others, some, really amazing things that they already knew how to do and bring with them. So they're now doing so many great leadership opportunities on campus because, they learned so much in their first year and they already came with a lot to offer. And I'm sure Zach can probably attest to the fact that, American students are feeling the same worries and experiencing a lot of challenges themselves. And, in the U.S., we're sort of brought up to act confident, but we feel the same insecurities and worries as the rest of you. And, just because we're in our own country doesn't mean that we're not worried about making friends and fitting in as well. So you're going to come across a lot of American students who are going through the same things, and you can talk to them, just as much as you can talk to international students. Zach, did you want to add anything more about, important people or your own experiences?
I was going to highlight faculty and staff as important people. In my experience, and I think for a lot of people, is don't be afraid to talk to your professors outside of class. Always ask questions. As Kobe said, like it's a lot of professors would prefer that you ask questions to clarify something, or just to become closer to them and really engage with what you're learning in the classroom. I've become close to a number of my professors throughout my 4 years just because, I wanted to go and ask questions. I wanted to learn more about what we were talking about in class and really engage with what was being taught. And it's just been wonderful because then you make that connection, then you have that kind of lasting friendship, but also somebody who's a mentor to you through your time here. And I would say the same for staff members, though you're not seeing them in a classroom. You have opportunities to meet them throughout your 4 years, and they can be great resources and just great mentors to you throughout your time.
And because at least for me, I heard that before I came here, and also when I just got here, that I should talk to my professors and all that. But I do feel really shy doing that, and I struggle with language still, even though my English, I recognize that my English is actually good. You always have in the back of your mind, like, is he gonna understand me? Am I gonna use the right words? And am I gonna be formal enough? So what I do, because I also understand the importance of connecting with my professors, and I really admire my professors here, and I also have built really strong relationships with them, is I use email a lot. So whenever I feel like I didn't get my question across, or I couldn't actually say everything that I could have said before, like during class or even after it, I just email them, or I find, yeah, mostly through email, I guess, but I have also like had other students, so I had like friends who are domestic students do it with me, so come with me when I was going to talk to a professor. So there are different ways that you can find to do these things that are so important, such as connecting with staff and faculty and other people on campus. So do not close yourself only because it feels hard. Try to find alternatives for doing it as well.
Um, well, back home in Ghana, you don't really, well, in my high school, for instance, you don't really get to know your teachers. Like, there's a distance, and you don't want to cross that line because they're older than you. But over here, one thing I realized and I learned was professors and other staff and faculty are have already stretched out their hands and they're waiting for you to meet them halfway because they really want to help you. They really want to get to know you as an individual. I would go into office hours for my professors to talk about probably some academic work, and we'll end up talking about my life story, how I ended up here, and it's great. Just get apart from the student friends you make, you get to make friends with professors, and it's essential to make friends from all age groups and all backgrounds. So, yeah, it's essential to go for office hours. It's essential to email professors. It's essential to just say hi if you can't do anything. Just say hi, ask them how they're doing, tell them how you're doing. You never know; it could lead to a really good, important conversation. So keep that in mind.
So you've all talked about stepping outside your comfort zone because it's so important to connect with others and to take advantage of those little moments each day, and when you can engage and have maybe one conversation that will end up being the beginning of an important relationship, an important friendship or relationship with an advisor or a mentor who might be recommending you for graduate school in 3-4 years, something you don't expect. And the way that I and Lutfi, for that matter, have interacted with all of you so far, we're not different than, the other staff and faculty. This is the amount, in which the other faculty and staff engage with students. So this is normal, and you're going to expect to really engage inside and outside the classroom in meaningful ways. So what Natalia and Zach and Kobe have described is really accurate, and it's really across the experience that you're going to have these kinds of relationships. But it's up to you. If you're going to choose to opt in and engage, then you're going to take advantage of a lot of important moments and opportunities. And if you choose, in those hard moments to retreat and be, sort of closed off, then you'll miss out on a lot of important things. You might get A's in your classes. You might close the door and study and get a lot of academic work done. But that doesn't mean that you're going to do everything you could have, that you could have really opened all the doors that were possible. And something that I want to remind you that's important is that if you're not engaging with others outside of class, then you're missing an opportunity to actually learn things that are going to help you do better academically and do better professionally too. So remember that, everything you're learning outside the classroom can really directly impact the way that you can be successful in your lives academically and professionally. So the social stuff is actually really important. What do you all do? And maybe Zach, if you could start out, what do you do when you are struggling, like when you are feeling, a little overwhelmed, when you're feeling like you're trying to make friends, it's not going very well, or you're just tired? Like, who do you go to, and how can students overcome those hard moments?
I usually go to, like I said, for my first year, I went to my RA, and any like close friend that I had, um, because once you get here, you do connect with a lot of people. Um, so it might be hard to find like who's that one person that you can go to with a lot of different things. But for me, that was I had a few different friends that I could just go and talk to about anything like that. Sometimes I would just go in my room and listen to music, something that I love, or go to a practice room and play through it a little bit. As a music major, that was something that was given to me that I could go in a practice room for 2 hours, play through play through something I loved, um, and it would make me feel a little better about something. It was really encouraging for me. So really targeting the things that that you love to do and practicing those kind of self-care things. Like if maybe you want to go out and get an ice cream or something like that. If that's going to make you feel better in the moment, why not? Why not do that? And really just finding somebody you're close to share that with, because uh, it's really nice to talk about things that you're struggling with, and um, really be able to put it into words too, so you know what might be the problem, something like that, and then coming up with ideas to as you move forward how to fix those things.
When I got really tired and I needed some time off, I usually spoke to my mentor about it, and Harry would listen. It's very essential to actually talk about it. You shouldn't just sit sit and be silent and struggle with it. It's very important to share. So Harry will listen and she'll comfort me. She'll tell me things that Harry was my freshman mentor. She'll comfort me and encourage me. And one thing I really held on to was the fact that number one, you're an international student, you're miles away from home, and that's one of the greatest decisions you could ever make. Trust me. And and you weren't recruited or admitted because you're just ordinary. You're actually really extraordinary and have special qualities that make you really important in DePauw. So um, these thoughts were comforting for me, and it's a great feat to actually attend the top 100 university in America. I mean, so I held on to these thoughts, and I knew that if I could do these things, then I should be able to do other things. It may seem challenging at first, but if I just take the first step, I should probably be able to move on. So Harry used to help me. Harry, my freshman mentor, used to help me think about these things, focus on them, and continue working hard. And sometimes, if you just feel like you need some time off and just to reflect and, as Zach said, experience and self and love yourself, it's a great spot to go to is a nature park, and
Yes.
I love the nature park. Yeah, and just take some time off. It's very important. I don't know. I just anytime I go to the nature park, I feel like I get away from campus, and it's really peaceful. That's what I can say. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what they've said. I want to reiterate what Kobe said, actually, especially, which is you have left everything you have lived so far in your country and come here, and you made that decision on your own, and you're here now, and so many things have changed that you have to expect it's going to be hard, at least in some level. Everyone who did this is going through something that is really hard. And putting that weight on yourself and just saying and almost like blaming yourself for it or feeling bad for it is the worst thing you could possibly do. So if anything, I would say recognize that you've made a really, really brave decision only to start with, and love yourself for it. Understand that it is okay that you're struggling, and it is okay that you might not be feeling good sometimes, and take care of yourself. Go to the nature park, practice, spend some time with yourself. I don't know, put some makeup on, get new clothes that are gonna make you feel good about yourself, or just I don't know, breathe. Take a time to breathe sometime in your days, and then besides that, like we've been pointing out from the moment we started, there are so many people here who want to help you. So um, Eliza asked me like what people I go to, and I would definitely say that the people I go to are the people who I've connected with through all of these different places. So like Zach said, it's so hard to point one person to whom I can go because there are so many here who are willing to support me and help me go through whatever problems I have. Um, and it goes beyond these things because yeah, there are all these programs and all these opportunities and all these organizations and so much. And then like I think Kobe pointed that out before. Like once you meet one person, there's this other person that you're gonna meet through this one person, and this way you just start building really like a group of people who you feel comfortable with and who make you feel like you're at home wherever you are. And so if anything, um, I've kind of learned through self-care and through reminding myself that I've done such a big decision that I can carry home with me wherever I am. And it's a matter of stopping and paying attention to how I can do that I have really gone through hard moments here, and accepting help to do this. I think accepting help to find that home that I have been able to carry with me. So yeah, accept help and love yourself for sure. Yeah.
You know, we like I keep saying we're going through a lot of topics related to challenges because it's important. We want you to know how, you know, how common it is because you're not alone, and also because there are going to be amazing, you know, opportunities and good times that you're going to have. So the hard times go, you know, and you'll have different hard times later when you start writing your, you know, senior thesis or, you know, your sophomore competencies for, you know, music, things like that. So there's so many cool things you're going to do. Like you'll have new challenges later, but the first year, you know, it just has its own special set. But I want to thank each of you for sharing these things. I know there's a lot more. So if you have questions about roommates, global partners, you know, talking with faculty, any of that, please feel free to share those in the Facebook group. Also, you know, we can make sure that those who were talking today could post in maybe the Facebook group and get you their email addresses if you'd like that. But thanks very much for joining us. And if you do have more questions, please, you know, please keep sharing. I want to remind you that there are a few important deadlines. I think you're all aware that the July 1st new international student checklist is due. You don't have to have everything finalized or completed in order to submit the information. You can send new stuff later, but give us whatever information is already complete now, and later you'll go back and add things through the same checklist. So that's due July 1st. And also the student health form is due July 1st. That you can email to DePauw@hendrix.org. That email address was on the form. It's not on the form anymore, so if you'd rather not fax it, you can find the email in the Facebook group. I've posted it many times. Let me know if you need the email address again. But many of you have already done that. Thank you. And there's a common read and writing assessment that all first-year students, not language department assistants and exchange students, but first-year degree-seeking students, you're all going to need to do that, and it's not graded. It's not for a grade. This is for the faculty to understand where the class of 2021 needs some extra academic support. So what are some of the issues they're seeing in students' writing and critical reading and critical thinking skills? So this is an assessment for the faculty to use as they support you throughout the next 4 years. That's going to open July 10th, and it's closing August 4th. If you're coming for English Institute, you need to do that before you come to start English Institute. Once you get here, you're going to be having a lot of fun. You're going to be really busy. You won't have time to finish that up. So you need to finish your common read and writing assessment in your portal. You'll find a link. You need to do that before you come for English Institute. And those who are coming on August 14th, you need to finish that, you know, by August 4th like everyone else. Any final thoughts? I would love to ask each of you just like maybe one really cool highlight that you're excited about for the coming year. Like what's something that you really can't wait, you know, to do or be a part of in the coming year?
Yes, sir.
Now Natalia wants to start.
Okay. Sure.
You got it.
No, so we've said it before, but I'm going to be an RA, and I'm actually going to be a resident assistant in College Street. So if whoever there is going to be in College Street, I'm really excited to get to meet you and be your RA. And I've also just started a new organization called Art Union. So if anyone really appreciates or makes art, I will be happy to have you in my organization. So yes.
There you go, invitation number one.
I will no longer be here. I'm starting graduate studies at Grand Valley State University in Michigan. So I'm actually going for college student affairs leadership. So uh, hopefully one day I'll be in a university setting within the administration level. But I'm excited to see what that'll be with new experiences, and I only know one person there, so it'll be great.
um, I'm excited for orientation. I'll be here for International Students Orientation and for the week-long student orientation as well. So I'm excited to meet you guys. Honestly, I've noticed some names and I'm like, okay, noted. Like, I don't know who's mentioning what's name. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to meeting all of you and getting to know you guys individually. So I'm excited.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad you got to meet these very important people. They're going to be here for you too. Except for Zach, we're going to wish him the best of luck. He's going to maybe need some support as he's, encountering some new challenges himself. But he can, continue to be a resource to you this summer. Thanks so much, and we'll see all of you very soon. Bye.
Thank you.
It's right. It's right.